Hi everyone, Auntie Lexi here. So we live in a post-Claire Obscure Expedition 33 world. So our expectations of JRPGs are super high right now. Like super high quality, emotional storytelling, fantastic turn-based combat and gameplay. So I can feel everybody's conundrum of like, okay, so that is a really good game to basically start the year. So what's coming for the rest of 2025? And that's actually a question that I wanted to answer with this video. But I found myself actually even going further than 2025. Because you see, with the new announcements from the recent Nintendo Direct, now I'm setting my sights even further into 2026. Because not only is Persona 4 Revival coming out then, but also The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. And this time I remember it's plural, tales. And I bring those up because we have been blessed with so many amazing JRPGs over the past several years, whether it's inspired by JRPGs like Chain Echoes, like in the background, or original JRPGs like Octopath Traveler 0, and so many more that I'll mention in this video. So in this video, I want to talk about all of those games, JRPGs, RPGs inspired by JRPGs, and so much more. And of course, everything is going to be chapter marked for your own convenience, so you can bounce around however you want, and I'm also going to divide this based off of whether we know the release date or it's coming within the next year or so. Either way, there's a lot to be excited about, and I can't wait to share it with you. By the way, if you love deep dives and spoiler-free analysis in your reviews of JRPGs, indies, and niche titles, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'll help you navigate through these upcoming releases in this wide world of gaming. Quartet is an upcoming indie JRPG that wears its SNES inspiration proudly. Just watching the footage instantly brings to mind Final Fantasy VI, Lufia, Chrono Trigger, all those timeless classics. But it's not just a love letter to the past. This game has ambitions of its own, telling 4 intertwining stories across 8 heroes who, presumably, will cross paths as the journey unfolds. I'm really curious to see how these narratives connect, but honestly, I'm already sold on the cozy sprite art and traditional turn-based combat. It perfectly captures that feeling of waking up on a Saturday morning as a kid, firing up the SNES, and diving into a grand adventure. Quartet launches August 26th on PC, with Nintendo Switch and PlayStation versions arriving in late 2025. Demonschool has been on my radar ever since I first saw its wild blend of Shin Megami Tensei-style visuals and eerie Italian horror vibes. After a string of delays, it's finally set to launch September 3rd, 2025, coming to major PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch platforms and PC, so everyone can jump in. The cool thing is, Demonschool doesn't just rely on your nostalgia for Shin Megami Tensei and Persona. It does things differently too. Instead of a traditional turn-based system, Demonschool mixes tactical RPG combat with a rewind mechanic that makes experimentation way less punishing. Layer on top a social system and Persona's signature calendar structure, and you've basically got a recipe for any Fire Emblem Three Houses or Persona fan to lose themselves in. I've been rooting for Demonschool since last year, and with the date now locked, I'm ready to see if it lives up to the hype. Fingers crossed. This one might be a cult classic in the making. When Towa and the Guardians of the Secret Tree was first revealed, our Discord immediately dubbed it Anime Hades, and honestly, that's one of the highest compliments you can give. As a roguelite fan, the idea of diving into a gorgeously hand-drawn world with Japanese flair is right up my alley. In Towa, you play as a priestess, gathering 8 guardians to protect Shinju Village from the evil god Magatsu. Each run, you choose 2 companions and swap between their unique sword and staff attacks to build your strategy. And like Hades, every defeat is just another chance to regroup, unlock new abilities, and come back stronger. With quick draw weapon switching, magical combos, randomized grace power-ups, and co-op play, no two runs will ever feel the same. Towa and the Guardians of the Secret Tree launches September 18th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. And if you're looking for a game that blends challenge, adventure, and anime style, this is absolutely it. The Trails series has gotten kinda wild lately, hasn't it? With all the plot twists and jaw-dropping story developments, it's easy to forget that it all started with the humble Trails in the Sky. And since a lot of fans came in with the Cold Steel games, not everyone's had a chance to play that very first entry, whether it's because it was stuck on older platforms or just felt a little too dated. Well, Falcom clearly wanted to fix that, because they're releasing a full-blown remake. We're talking full 3D visuals, modernized combat that matches the newer games, and all the charm and personality that made the original so beloved. For fans who started with the newer titles, this is the perfect chance to see where it all began. And maybe, just maybe, it opens the door for more remakes down the line. Trails from Zero, anyone? Trails in the Sky First Chapter launches September 19th on PS5, Switch, and PC. Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guard may share a name with a mobile entry, but it's a completely different game made for Atelier fans. You'll play as Rias Adres and Slade Clawslighter, returning to Halfin to uncover why its people vanished, restore the city, and unravel Lantarna's mysteries. Familiar faces make a return, and the new gift color synthesis system adds even more depth to crafting. Combat lets you rotate up to 6 party members along a shared timeline, where Smart Play charges a gauge for Unite bursts, which are epic all-out team attacks. Between battles, you can build shops, decorate your town, and indulge in that signature Atelier coziness. I honestly didn't expect we'd have 2 Atelier series running at once, and I'm excited to see how this one stacks up against Atelier Yumiya. Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist and the White Guardian, launches globally September 26th for PS5, Switch, and PC. When Tactics Ogre Reborn got its surprise remaster back in 2022, my first thought was, okay, but what about Final Fantasy Tactics? Well, it's taken its sweet time, but Square has finally answered, and the results look incredible. One of the coolest things about this remaster is that it includes both the original game, exactly as we remember it, and an enhanced version with updated visuals and a slew of quality of life improvements. Honestly, I wish more remasters did this. Purists can stick with the original, while newcomers and returning fans can enjoy the modern touch-ups. Everybody wins. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles launches September 30th for major PlayStation and Switch platforms, Xbox Series X and S, and October 1st on PC. Monster raising fans usually fall into specific camps, and while I've always been more of a Pokemon person, Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, showed me something different. Where Pokemon leans lighter and more straightforward, Digimon dives into deeper storytelling and richer characters, and that can be just as addictive. So when Digimon Story Time Stranger was announced from the Cyber Sleuth team, launching October 3rd on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, I knew I had to pay attention. This time travel adventure casts you as an Adamas agent, sent back 8 years to save both Shinjuku and the digital world from collapse. You've got over 450 Digimon with 16 personality types, turn-based battles with a 4-member party, and all the tools you need to raise and master your team. Add in a brand new time-bending story, and Time Stranger might just be the Digimon story fans have been waiting for. This one totally blindsided me. I was browsing online when I stumbled across some chatter about a turn-based sci-fi RPG where you pilot mechs. And no, it's not Super Robot Wars. I'm talking about a game called The Starbites. It's set on the desert planet Bitter, a once thriving world now left in ruins after a galactic war. You'll roam its wastelands, scavenging for parts, uncovering long-buried secrets, meeting quirky allies, and customizing your own mechs for story-rich turn-based battles inspired by some of the best JRPG classics. Combat revolves around the driver's high gauge. Every action fills it, letting you grab extra turns, chain support maneuvers, and smash through enemy barriers by targeting their weaknesses. The mechs look slick, the animations have style, and the whole thing just screams personality. Starbites launches in Japan on October 16th for PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series X and S, with a global release, including PC, planned for 2026. I've got a feeling we'll be hearing a lot more about this soon. Pokemon Legends Arceus is one of my favorite Pokemon games ever, as it made the series feel fresh again with bold new mechanics. So when Pokemon Legends ZA was revealed, carrying that same Legends name, I was instantly sold. What's exciting is how it's not just a rehash of Arceus. While the former focused on vast open landscapes, ZA takes place entirely in Lumio City, giving the game a completely different energy. I can already picture strolling through the streets by day, then watching the whole place light up at night like a festival. Only here, the headliners are your Pokemon battles. It's totally a new vibe for the series, and if this trailer is anything to go by, Game Freak's cooking up plenty more surprises. I can't wait to see what other ideas they have in store. Pokemon Legends ZA launches October 16th on all major Switch platforms. The journey that began with last year's Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake is finally reaching its conclusion with Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D remake. Square Enix is filling in the emotional and narrative gaps between the three games with new story content, characters, and world building. Dragon Quest I now transforms its once lonely quest into something richer, with fairies, dwarves, powerful new monsters, and even a familiar face from Part 3. And in Dragon Quest II, the brand new Princess of Cannock joins the party, giving us a 4-member team for the first time in this game, and reshaping story beats, dialogue, and relationships. Both games are fully voiced, orchestrated, and rebuilt in that stunning HD 2D style, packed with new scenarios, towns, and lore. Together, they offer a cohesive 50-hour experience that ties the trilogy together like never before. Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake launches worldwide October 30th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch platforms, and PC. I get it. When the word mobile pops up, some folks instantly check out. But that's exactly why Octopath Traveler 0 feels like such a game changer. Sure, it borrows elements from Champions of the Continent, the Octopath Traveler mobile game, but it builds on that foundation with new stories, fresh gameplay, and a perspective we've never seen, letting you rebuild the town at the heart of the mobile game's story. And you know I love some town building. It's also a full prequel to the first Octopath Traveler, featuring characters from that game and a wild 8-member battle system, where rows actually matter again, plus all the breaks, boosts, and strategy you expect from the series. This isn't just a mobile port. It takes those ideas and makes them bigger, richer, and way more compelling. Octopath Traveler 2 launches worldwide December 4th on major PlayStation and Switch platforms, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. In what might be one of the craziest crossovers since Marvel vs. Capcom, Ys vs. Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga is finally coming out after all these years, which is a fully modernized fighting game. No, this isn't a crossover to plays like a JRPG, but I think it's still worth mentioning, especially because there's a lot of fans of both in the audience. Think high-speed top-down battles with beloved heroes from Ys and Trails in the Sky, only this time with 4K visuals, smooth 60 FPS, and couch or online multiplayer backed by rollback netcode. Better yet, it's getting full English voice acting, and it's officially based on the excellent Geofront fan translation, lovingly carried over. You'll choose your favorite Crusader, whether it's Adol, Estelle, Joshua, or Chloe, and bring in some support from all across Falcom's history. It's Super Smash Bros. Style action, featuring some of your favorite Falcom characters. Ys vs. Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga launches sometime in 2025 for major PlayStation platforms, Switch, and PC. But if you're itching for the next chapter in the Calvard arc, you're in luck. 2026 kicks off with Trails Beyond the Horizon. Launching January 15th, you'll rejoin Van Arkwright, Rien Schwarzer, Kevin Graham, and their allies as they dive deeper into some of Zemuria's biggest mysteries, from humanity's first space mission to Ouroboros' most dangerous plan yet. This entry is shaking things up with new combat mechanics like shard commands for flexible mid-turn actions, awakening for explosive power spikes, and ZOC, a time-freezing system that changes the tempo and strategy of both field and command battles. Exploration looks more open-ended, with bigger environments, new story events, and side quests that expand the world in unexpected ways. It's an ambitious step forward for the series, and one that promises to push the Calvard arc into bold, uncharted territory. Trails Beyond the Horizon arrives January 15th on major PlayStation and Switch platforms, and PC. Thanks to its recently released demo, The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales instantly shot up my most anticipated list. It's Team Asano's very first HD 2D action RPG, co-developed with Clay Techworks, the team behind Bravely Default 2. It plays like Zelda with a splash of Secret of Mana, 2 weapon buttons, parries, stamina-based guarding, and a combo system that rewards no-hit streaks with better loot. And then there's Faye, your companion, who can teleport you across gaps or send you flying in a hilarious high-speed dash. She's not just useful, she's fun, and she can even be controlled by a local co-op partner. Magicite adds another layer, letting you tweak weapon attributes in clever ways, and boss fights that are packed with big, memorable mechanics, some of which gave me curious Final Fantasy XIV vibes. With gorgeous HD 2D visuals, sharp enemy design, and a soundtrack from Monster Hunter composers Tomohiro Nakamichi and Yuto Morita, I'm counting the days until its 2026 launch on all major platforms. Persona 4 Revival is bringing one of Atlus's most beloved JRPGs back in a full remake, rebuilt from the ground up, with modern visuals, reworked environments, and overhauled character models on par with Persona 3 Reload. The original Persona 4 stood out for its mix of small-town murder mystery and everyday life sim, social links that deepened character arcs, and a turn-based battle system that rewarded exploiting enemy weaknesses. It also pushed boundaries in 2008, with more layered, personal themes than most JRPGs of its era. Revival keeps all of that, but adds full voice acting across more scenes, modernized combat flow, and expanded cutscenes, plus quality of life updates from Persona 5 like streamlined menus and faster loading times. It's designed to feel fresh, whether you're stepping into Inaba for the first time or returning after years away. Persona 4 Revival launches in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection takes the series into darker territory when it launches in 2026 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC. You play as the heir to the Kingdom of Azuria, the last Rathalos rider, facing a mysterious crystal encroachment that's slowly turning life into stone and threatening the balance of the entire continent. When two twin Rathalos hatch, it triggers an ancient prophecy, pushing the kingdoms of Azuria and Vermeil toward war. Alongside your Monstie partner, you'll set out to uncover the source of the encroachment, forge allies, and confront dangerous rival riders. The signature turn-based Monstie battles return with a roster that includes Rathalos, Magnamalo, Legiana, and more, while the kinship system takes center stage, letting you unleash flashy, high-powered moves that grow stronger the deeper your bond with your Monstie becomes. With a heavier tone, higher stakes, and the series' first ever release on Xbox, Twisted Reflection is shaping up to be the most ambitious entry yet in the Monster Hunter Stories saga. Most people think Game Freak just makes Pokemon, but did you know that they also created titles like Tembo the Badass Elephant? And now, they're gearing up for their first AAA release outside the Pokemon universe, and it looks epic. Introducing Beast of Reincarnation, a one-person, one-dog action RPG set in post-apocalyptic Japan in the year 4026. You play as Emma the Sealer, accompanied by her loyal canine companion Ku, journeying through a world teeming with oversized beasts and rogue robots. The trailer shows off technical Souls-like combat, parrying, slick movement, and intense encounters, all wrapped in environments that give off a darker, hyper-real Studio Ghibli look. Originally revealed as Project Bloom, Beast of Reincarnation launches in 2026 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And with it, Game Freak is also aiming to prove that they're more than just the Pokemon studio, crafting a hauntingly beautiful world with tight, demanding combat and a bond-driven adventure that could make this one of 2026's standout RPGs. If you ask a From Software fan what their favorite game is, you're probably going to hear one of three answers: the original masterpiece, Dark Souls, the recent epic Elden Ring, or the ever-iconic Bloodborne. And let's be real, there's a reason people have been begging for a Bloodborne remaster for years. Enter the Duskbloods, a game that's shaping up to feel like a mashup of Bloodborne's gothic horror and the multiplayer focus of Elden Ring Night Rain. Now, details are still pretty scarce, but knowing FromSoft, I doubt it's going to be a simple copy and paste of Night Rain. They've got a knack for keeping us on our toes. Right now, the trailer's all we got, and while it confirms up to 8-player co-op, it doesn't look like we're getting a battle royale setup like Night Rain. Still, every time I rewatch that footage, I get more intrigued. And honestly, I can't wait to see what this legendary studio has in store. The Duskbloods is set to release in 2026, exclusively for the Switch 2. Infinite Alliance is a crossover dream for fans of modern, Japanese-style RPGs. Imagine Sienna from Chained Echoes, Noah from Jack Move, Sabina from Quartet, Charlie from 8-Bit Adventures 2, and more, all teaming up in turn-based battles with beautiful pixel art. The roster spans heroes from 13 different RPG worlds, each bringing their own signature abilities, personalities, and playstyles in a brand new story. It's a kind of what-if collaboration we usually only see in fan art, except this time, it's real, and it's playable. With an original narrative tying everything together, lush retro-inspired visuals, and a soundtrack featuring talent from multiple studios, Infinite Alliance feels like a heartfelt celebration of the indie JRPG boom we've been living through. Whether you've played just one of these games or, like me, have ventured through most of them, this is shaping up to be one of the most exciting love letters to modern pixel RPGs yet. And I've saved the best detail for last, because not only is it coming to all major platforms in 2026, but the entire game will be absolutely 100% free. It's been a long time since we've heard from Wild Arms. But Armed Fantasia is here to carry that torch as its true spiritual successor. Set in a vast Western punk-inspired wilderness, this turn-based RPG brings back the spirit of exploration, puzzle-filled dungeons, and, of course, those signature arm weapons. What's especially exciting is that unlike its sister project, Pennyblood, which was kickstarted alongside it, but is now in development limbo, Armed Fantasia is still actively in development and looking better than ever. The team has been regularly sharing progress updates, showing off sprawling overworld traversal, environmental puzzles, and flashy cinematic combat animations that channel the best of the PS1 and PS2 eras. If you've been craving that mix of heartfelt character drama, stylish battle systems, and the thrill of wandering a massive mysterious frontier, this might just be your next obsession. Armed Fantasia rides onto PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC in 2026. And those, my dear friends, are the games you can expect to come out over the next year or so. Do any of the games I mentioned catch your fancy? If so, post them in the comments below and tell me why you're hyped. Also, if you want to take this conversation further, join our Discord at dsc.gg/backlogbattle. We also celebrate game completions there too, so take a peek and say hi. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more thoughtful and informative videos on JRPGs, indies, niche titles, and beyond, join my Patreon at patreon.com/backlogbattle. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.